figure reviews, toy hunts, unboxing and rankings, unboxing and displays, etc. All right, YouTube trolls, toys, back at you with another episode of Random Figure Review. This is episode number 37. In this video series, we review 5 figures from 5 different lines. Typically, I did cheat a few times when I was recovering from elbow surgery, but now that we got a more manageable brace, we'll go back to 5. We're going to start out with Series 120, the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. This is a suited version of Cody Rhodes, and we got him for 19 bucks. So it says, after finishing his father's story, the American Nightmare held the classic WWE Championship high above his head in front of the WWE Universe at Madison Square Garden. Career highlights: undisputed WWE Champion, Intercontinental Champion, World Tag Team Champion. So $19, Series 120, Cody Rhodes. Jada Toy Street Fighter series, we're going to go Fei Long. I love these so much that I keep one on card, but we got a Fei Long to open. He is $22 coming in from, I believe it was Pop Market. We've had him quite some time, so $22 for Jada Toys Fei Long. $22 from Select Your Heroes, a seller on Whatnot. We got Black Winter Thor, primarily for the Zabu Build-A-Figure piece, but he looks pretty badass. So it says, Black Winter, the Devourer of Universes, materializes a dark version of Thor in order to threaten the God of Thunder. And we're going to see how he scales with our He-Man figures, because Masters of the Universe, I think he'd be a good bad guy for Skeletor. Because you know me, I'm not big into Marvel, but I am big into He-Man. I think she was like 14 bucks from Florida Toy Boy 03 on Whatnot. This is Masters of the Universe Revelation Teela. Teela, warrior goddess. Learning she had been lied to her entire life, Teela threw down her sword, rejected her title, and turned her back on her family, friends, and all of Eternia. Fate, however, has a way of returning. Prince Adam's secret identity as He-Man, the same secret that shattered her trust, became intertwined with her quest to save magic from disappearing from Eternia. So she'll be figure number 4. And you could say I'm cheating slightly, but there's a new line of Masters of the Universe called Chronicles, and the first figure in that line is Scareglow. And he looks badass, and I'm anxious to get him out of the package. So we're going to say Revelation and Chronicles are 2 different lines, even though they're both Masters of the Universe, and they're both by Mattel. But just a newer version, right? If the only thing to fear is fear itself, then no being is more terrifying than the Lord of Subternia, Scareglow. His ghostly light can paralyze even the bravest of Eternia's warriors. And he's going to clock in at our priciest figure. We found him at a Walmart, I want to say it was in Leicester, Massachusetts, for 28 bucks. So $28, Chronicles, Scareglow, $14, Revelation, Teela, $22, Marvel Legends, Black Winter, Thor, $22, Jada Toys Street Fighter Fei Long, and $19, Series 120 suited Cody Rhodes. That's our 5 figures we're going to review in this video. And a surprise, I think I'm going to start out with Black Winter Thor, because I'm very impressed with how this figure looks, and I want to get him out of the package. I also want to get Zabu's head. We have the torso and a leg for Zabu now, so we're like halfway there. Because we found Wolfsbane at the flea market this past summer for 8 bucks. We don't have Khazar, we don't have Red Widow or Icarus, and we just found this Cable. I think he was reissued, so we found him at a GameStop in my hometown. But we're going to start with Black Winter Thor. All right, so I got the AC fired up. Hopefully it doesn't mess up the sound too much. We're going to give it a whirl, because welcome to New England. It's like 40 one day and 80 the next day. Mjolnir with the dark magic or whatever it does, looks pretty badass. We've got the head for Build-A-Figure Zabu, who I think is still a pricey Build-A-Figure. I don't know though, because I think this Black Winter is probably also a reissue that we have here. It looks like they went back for some of their pricier Build-A-Figures and reissued, because we got Squadron Supreme Power Princess recently, we got that Cable recently, I don't know. So as far as accessories goes, he just comes with alternate open hand and gripping hand so he can hold this axe. Fist of Fury out of the package. The head sculpt is quite nice. The hair is wild. Cape is plastic, but I don't mind the cape so much on this figure being plastic. I think he's pretty badass. We are probably going to keep him. Like I said, he's going to fit in well. I believe with the He-Mans, he looks like slightly taller than a normal 6-inch figure. Let's see, Wong, why don't you come over here? No, let's grab Prowler. Yeah, he's definitely taller so I think he's going to work well just because of the wild hair with the MOTUs, which is probably what we were going to use him for. But we're going to get the alternate hands on him, and we're going to get this the hammer in his hand. All right, if you're always looking for the newest figures, and I'm maybe not your guy, you've caught on to that by now. I like finding figures that I really want, or ones that I can find good deals on, especially when they have Build-A-Figure pieces that I want to build. But this Black Winter Thor, other than his hand seems slightly large for the hammer, in my opinion. The hammer's a little bit loose there in the hand. But other than that, he's got your standard Marvel Legends articulation. Although I think he's only single jointed elbows. So when was he from? I always look and I shambles. I didn't look at him. 2024. But I think he's single jointed elbows and knees. But he is a bigger boy. Like I said, we're going to use him like this axe is a little bit, hammer is a little bit loose in the hand, like I said. He's going to be top heavy because of that hairdo for sure. We're going to get him on a figure stand to avoid a fig catastrophe, hopefully, in this video. But I do like him way more than I thought. And we get the Zabu head, which is a crucial part to the Build-A-Figure. We need 3 more legs now for Zabu, and we got his Fist of Fury here. So figure number 1, Marvel Legends Black Winter Thor. Figure number 2, we're going to go Series 120 suited Cody Rhodes. Got a smiling head sculpt out of the package, a more stoic one here. As an alternate, looks like he has alternate Fists of Fury as well. But we got him because I had a suited Cody that I parted ways with from AEW, a cheap suited Cody that I probably should have held on to. But I wanted to put a suited Cody in the Rhodes family display. Or maybe I held on to the suited AEW Cody. Anyways, we got another a WWE suited Cody now. Shambles. And I do collect a lot of WWE figures, but I don't know which titles are worth money and which ones aren't. And I don't separate the figures from their titles. I'm not one of those kind of guys. I do think I'm going to switch to this head sculpt, though. We're going to try it versus this one. He does come with Fist of Fury, as I said, which we're not going to utilize. Alright, I do think I like this head sculpt better, and I gotta say, I'm not big on title belts, but I don't really like this one. Right? We're going to keep it with him, but it's not my favorite. So I'm guessing it's probably not a desirable one on the secondary market, maybe why we were able to get Cody. But he's got, he does have double jointed legs, but it looks wicked funny when you articulate them. Luckily, I'm not much on that. He's got double jointed elbows as well. He is an elite, so no, he does have ab crunch, but no articulated shoulders. But we got him just to be just like you see him, to stand him on the shelf just like he is, so he's looking pretty good for that. So Series 120 WWE Elite Collection American Nightmare suited Cody Rhodes. All right, up next we're gonna go Masters of the Universe Revelation Teela. Alternate head sculpt, shield, sword, alternate hands. We're gonna get her out of the package. All right, here's Revelation Teela. And I know some of you may say, well, Revelation is a terrible cartoon and the figures aren't popular. And that's both of, I mean, maybe both of those statements are true. I did watch the cartoon. It wasn't the best. I didn't watch it all the way through. I think the figures are quite comparable to New Eternia, in all honesty. And I can get these a lot cheaper. And I wasn't collecting when New Eternia started or when this started. So it's easier for me to pick these up. I think we're definitely going to switch her out of this I don't know whatever that barrette, whatever the hell this is called. We're gonna put this head sculpt on. Now we do have New Eternia Teela that you'll see in a different video, so we'll probably grab her and compare her to New Eternia at the time. But I do like this head sculpt much better than the one in the package, and maybe that's why she was not a great seller. She does come with some alternate hands, but the hands we needed, the shield holding hand and the sword holding hand, we're on her right out of the pack. The sword does have a little bit of a curve. Maybe it's supposed to be that way. It doesn't look like I can straighten it. Or maybe it's just from being in the package for so long. I'm not going to force it at the moment, so we're just going to go with it. Double jointed knees, double jointed elbows, ab crunch. So I'm not a big one on articulation because I don't do action figure photography. I just get them posed up in a stance that I like, and they go on the shelf. And you go, well, you could keep them in the pack. I got so many figures, if I kept everything in the pack, I'd have no room. Plus, I just like the way they look better loose, right? If I'm gonna buy something, I want it to breathe. I want it to come out of the package. I have a few exceptions. I love the Jada Toys packaging. I love the new WWE Street Fighter crossover packaging, and I love me some WWE Legends packaging. So I keep those figures in the on card, and then the retro card G.I. Joes, right? Classifieds. I keep those on card, but everything else I pretty much open, because it's just my preference. We're all different, right? So, but figure number 3, Masters of the Universe Revelation, Tila. Figure number 4, we're gonna go Jada Toys Fei Long, and I will say right out the gate, Jada Toys has some of the most tamper-proof packaging that I've ever seen. It's always a challenge to get them out of the pack. But like I said, we have another Fei Long that we keep in the pack, so we can break this one out and let him breathe. All right, we got Jada Toys Fei Long out of the package. And this is, I've only opened Blanca, I think, from this line so far, because I love the packages so much. I do have duplicates of a lot of them, but I'm just so far behind on opening videos. I got to get better at that. I buy more than I open, I think. Obviously, it comes with Fists of Fury out of the package, articulated shoulders, which is cool, ab crunch, double jointed. Right, the Jada figures are awesome from the ones that I've seen. Even I like the little Mega Man figs too. I've opened all those. Alternate head sculpt. I sort of like this smirking one. He's got open hands or Fists of Fury, and he comes with this kick-ass kick effect. I don't know if I can get it on him. Yeah, look at that. Hey-ya. Right, he's pretty badass. Will he stand on his own? I don't know. He might. But I'm going to go figure stand. And that kick effect is a little bit heavy, apparently. All right, so I'm not going to futz with him at the moment, so I don't know if he would pose well on a shelf this way, but you could probably get him in poses for action figure photography with this effect. But for my purposes, we're just going to take it off of him right now. Alternate head sculpt. I believe I like the one that's on him better. And open hands, but we'll just leave the Fists of Fury on Fei Long for now. Obviously, one of the less toyetic of the Street Fighter figures, but I do love me some samurai and some karate folks, so Fei Long fits right in, shambles. We'll put that kick effect right there, extra head. So figure number 4, Jada Toys Fei Long. And whoa, that leaves only one, Masters of the Universe, the new line, Chronicles edition, Scareglow, who I think looks pretty badass, and I'm excited to get out of the package. All right, so here's Scareglow out of the package. Fist of Fury here, gripping hand here. Comes with an alternate, more open hand for this hand, and a gripping hand in lieu of the fisted hand. All right, cloth goods cape, which I appreciate. There's some smuck on it right there. Hang on. I think this is a bit of glue that I don't want to rip the cape to try to get off, but if you can see that, so a slight imperfection on him. Looks like from the package we can take this flame effect off and just have the skull. I see no need to do that whatsoever, but you could if you wanted. And I just by habit default to putting the weapon in the figure's right hand most of the time, maybe because I'm right-handed. And on the package, lots of times they put it in the left hand. I don't know if it looks better that way for the photos or not. but he's pretty badass, right? The articulation is quite smooth on the legs. I'm not really one normally for articulation, but he seems very fluid for a MOTU figure, and he's quite badass appearance wise. We're gonna grab our Scareglow Revelation and do a quick comparison, like a bonus comparison here, since we have the Revelation Scareglow. So let me grab him off the shelf. So this is Revelation Scareglow versus Chronicles Scareglow, and there's not really much of a comparison. This is more molded in the skeleton, where over here it's just painted on. Right, the head sculpt is much better on the Chronicles. The weapon is much better. So like I said, Scareglow had a needed upgrade here to a much better figure in this Chronicles line. Alright, stand up, Scareglow. Alright, let me put Revelation away. One other comment on the Chronicles line. Obviously Scareglow was first, and he came in this windowed packaging. I just got in King Grayskull from Mattel Creations, who's the second figure in this wave, and he's in one of those windowless boxes. I mean, when you open them up, the inside does look cool, but I want to be able to see the figure in person versus just the photo, so I'm never a fan of the windowless boxes. Just a comment on my behalf. If you're listening, Mattel, you're probably not, but that's okay. So now, as always, we're going to rank these 5 figures from our least favorite to our favorite, understanding that we like them all. And this is quite tough. In all honesty, I expected to like Black Winter Thor the least, but that's not the case. If I had to rank them, I do love Dusty Rhodes, Cody Rhodes, the Rhodes family, but this suited Cody is probably going to finish in last, and he was 19 bucks. I'm actually probably going to put Fei Long in 4th, because he was one of my least favorite Street Fighter characters. It's sort of just the most plain Jane. He was 22 bucks. We're going to put this Revelation Tila in 3rd. I think we got her for 14 bucks. I am on a bit of a female action figure kick recently, but I think with this alternate head sculpt, she looks pretty good. Black Winter Thor, he's going to be a surprising 2nd place finisher, right? Because I do think he's quite badass, quite gnarly. I wish the hammer stayed in his hand a little bit better, and maybe we can remedy that. But obviously, the winner of episode 37 of Random Figure Review is going to be Masters of the Universe Chronicles Scareglow. He is just freaking gnarly. But as always, this has been Trolls Toys. I truly appreciate you watching my videos, and we'll see you soon. Peace.